Please accept my humble obeisances on all of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, all glories to devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswati Vyasang Tato Jayo Mudirayet Nasta Prayeshu Yavatreshu Nitam Bhagavato Shevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Navistiki. So, Hare Krishna. So, today that we are discussing on Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. That is, the chapter is the most confidential knowledge, chapter 9 and text 21. Etang bhukta sharkalo kangam vishalang kine punne mattalo kangam vishanti evang toyi dharma manu prapanna gatang kamo kama lavanti tetang bhukta sharkalo kangam vishalang kine punne mattalo kangam vishanti evang troyi dharma manu prapanna gatang kamo kama lavanti Tetang bhugta shargalo kang vishalang kine punne ke martalo ke vishanti ebang traye dharma mono prapanna gata gatang kamo kama lavante. Synonyms: they, tam, that, bhakta, having enjoyed, bhukta, it is not bhakta, bhukta, having enjoyed, Sarvalokam, heaven, Vishalam, vast, Krishna, Shine, being exhausted, Punne, the result of their pious activities, Martalokam, to the mortal earth, Vishanti, fall down, Evam, thus, Traye, of the three Vedas, Dharmam, doctrines, Anuprapanna, following, Gata Agatam, death and birth, Kamo, Kama, desiring sense enjoyments, Labhante, attain. Translation and purport written by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Very nice. Purport: one who is promoted to the higher planetary systems enjoys a longer duration of life and better facilities of a sense enjoyment. Yet one is not allowed to stay there forever. One is again sent back to this earth, often finishing the resultant fruits of pious activities. He who has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasya Jato, or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life, and is thus subjected to the routine of being promoted to the higher planets and then again coming down, as If it is situated on a Ferris wheel, which sometimes goes up and sometimes comes down. The purport is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world, from which there is no longer any possibility of upcoming down, one simply revolves in the circle of birth and death on higher and lower planetary systems. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge, and never return to this miserable material existence. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Shayangarupa Kadhamayam Dadati Shapadantikam. Bande Hanga Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupang Shagra Jatang Shahagana Raghunathan Nitam Tang Sajivang Shadvaitanga Shabodhatanga Parijana Shahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devang Sri Radha Krishna Padane Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakanitamishcha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesho Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapto Kanchanam Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hare Priyam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Evacha Patitanang Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Here there is a few words is very important. Here, evam troya dharmam anupra panana. That means the evam troya dharmam. So we will discuss a few things in today. That means here troya dharma. That means that of the three Vedas, that we will discuss about the Vedas a little bit. Then we will go through the context. Then we will go through the discussion about the Srila Prabhupada writing songs. These 3 points we will discuss today. So first we discuss about the Evam Troya Dharmam. That means that Troya Dharmam, that means 3 Vedas. Previous text, it was mentioned also that 3 Vedas means that actually Veda. Vedas, how Veda came? Veda actually Shruti. It came from Shravan, Shruti. Then that first Veda was written, it was the very big size, as well as too much information on that. Then Vyasdev was thinking that people will be will not be comfortable. Then he divided into the Vedas into 4 categories. What are the 4 categories? Rig Ved, Sham Ved, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda. In first Vedas, it was 20,370 mantras was there. So that is the Rig Veda. First Rig Veda was divided into 4 categories. So what about the Rig Veda? Rig Vedas deals with the lot of slokas, lot of mantras in Rig Vedas. As for example, when we are doing the Jagna, suppose Shinshu Prabhuji, he is every Saturday, he is doing the Jagna. So in the Jagna, he was chanting the Purusha Shukta mantra. That is from Rig Veda actually, that is a Purusha Shukta mantra. And those who are Brahmanas in ISKCON, they are doing the Gayatri mantra. So that Gayatri is also came from the Rig Veda. So, but in Samved, that is the Yajurveda. Yajurveda is the Jagga mantra, that what our Shinshu Prabhuji he is doing. Then Yajurveda also divided into 2 groups. One is called Krishna Yajurveda, other is called the Shukla Yajurveda. Then Samved. Samved is that Gandharvas, those who are in the heaven, they are dancing, they are singing. That is that melodies. It came in this material world. Suppose Bharatanatyam and all the things, these are actually came from the heaven. That is the part of the Samveda. And Atharvaveda, that is most important Vedas also, that people are suffering a lot. Suppose in COVID, and there are a lot of disease, people are suffering. So that is Ayurveda, that treatment was given and people became a cure. So that Ayurveda came from the Atharvaveda. So, and in Atharvaveda, there are also some hymns, 730 hymns, about 6,000 mantras is there also. So this is the about the very brief discussion on the Vedas. So one thing is that when Buddha came in this material world as an avatar, who took a Buddha avatar, he did not touch he avoided Vedas. So for that reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that Ved Namaniya Buddha Hoilo Nastik. So in Buddha, he did not follow the Vedas, completely off. Ahingsha Paramadharma, Jiva Ahingsha Mahapav. That is his slogan. Then after that, after Buddha, then Shankaracharya came. Then Shankaracharya established these 4 Vedas again. And the follow peoples are, particularly South India, peoples are following very strictly these Vedas also. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita is also, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also mentioned that Shruti Shriti Puranadi Pancharatra Viding Bina Okanteki Horer Bhakti Utpathoiva Kalpate. What does it mean? It means that Shruti, Sriti, Puran. These are Pancharatra Vidhi. Pancharatra Vidhi, that is, if we follow that Pancharatra Vidhi, then it comes into a certain stage of the spiritual stage. After, if people, those who are not following this Pancharatra Vidhi, then that is the Utpat, disturbance. That is, it is disturbance, it creates the disturbance within the society. So it is very careful that we have to follow all the rules and regulations. What Sanatana Goswami, he was written a book also, all the rules and regulations. That is that we must have to follow that rules and regulation. And Srila Prabhupada also provided us that rules and regulation. So this is about the moral, about the Vedas. Now, there are two more things is there, two more types of books. That is, we called Upanishad and we called Puranas. There are two types of books, actually. So, what is the Upanishad? Actually, Upanishad means sitting near the feet of the teacher, means Gurudev. That's what? Pariprasnena, that Gurudev, listen very humbly what Gurudev says. And in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna also mentioned to Arjuna, Pariprasnena Shavaya, and very humbly asks the question to Gurudev if we do not understand. That is that. So, Upanishad, there are about 108 Upanishad. This Upanishad came from actually 4 Vedas. From the 4 Vedas, this Upanishad came. So then Puranas. So, Upanishad, that is Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, it is also a Upanishad, which is called Gita Upanishad. Bhagavan Sri Krishna songs during the Kurukshetra war. So it is called the Gita Upanishad. Then Puranas, there are 18 Puranas in there. That is, as for example, Vishnu Puran, Naradiya Puran, Padma Puran, Garuda Puran, Varaha Puran, Bhagavat Puran. What is Bhagavat Puran? Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mosya, Kurma, Linga, Shiva, Skanda, Agni, Brahmanda. There are a lot of Puranas. Is 18 Puranas is there. So, what is the topmost Puranas? The topmost Purana is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a topmost Purana. Now, what is the difference actually? The difference is that the difference is the Upanishad. Upanishad. Upanishad means Upa. Upa means near, and Shat means to sit. To sit under the lotus feet of the teacher. That is called the Upanishad. So Upanishad deals actually a spiritual knowledge and philosophy, development of the spiritual knowledge, how to develop spiritually. That instructions, that is Upanishad is given. As for example, Gita Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. What Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita First, he was mentioning that we are not a body, we are the soul. Then he was elevated how to develop the spiritual development. In ninth chapter of when came ninth chapter, it is a Gujyatama. It is Gujyatama chapter, and it is middle of the 18th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. So Bhagavad-Gita is the instructions of Lord Krishna. But Vedas is also sub-classified into four. What are the four? The Samhitas, Aranyakas, Brahmanas, and these are the four types. So Samhitas means that, suppose Brahma Samhita. What Brahma Samhita? Brahma Samhita actually Veda appeared in Brahma's heart also. When Brahma was created, then at that time Krishna part in Brahma's heart, that Vedas also. So that is from him, he was, after creation, everything, then he was praying to Lord Krishna. That is the Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radhi Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. So these are all the verses Brahma was praying to Lord Krishna. So in Vedas, Vedas are the Jnana Yoga tradition. And in Puranas are Puranas, Bhagavat Purana, these are the Bhakti Yoga, discussed in the Bhakti Yoga, deals with the Bhakti Yoga in the Puranas. So here Srila Prabhupada written in here very, very nicely, that is, when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. So here, one thing, that is, this there is one thing it was mentioned actually, that is that, what is Shastra pore ki hoy gyani jodi na kare atma karma. What does it mean? That means that so many people studying the Vedas, and that, as for example, Keshav Kashmiri, Prakashananda Saraswati, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. These are the great scholar. So Shastra, they know the Shastra. That means they studied a lot the scriptures. But are they going to Golok Vrindavan? Are they able to go to Golok Vrindavan to achieve Krishna, to serve the Krishna? No. For that reason, it was mentioned that Shastra Poriki Hoy Gyani Jodi Na Kara Atma Karma. Atma Karma means a spiritual development by devotional service. Without devotional service, nobody can understand Krishna. Nobody can go to Golok Dham. So this is the most important, that Srila Prabhupada also in Chaitanya Charitamrita purport, he was mentioned that Shastra Pore, do the devotional service as much as possible. As much as possible, do the, suppose in South India, when Mahaprabhu went there to visit a temple, one blind man, he was reading Bhagavad-Gita in his bow, hand. So he could not see Bhagavad-Gita, but he was changing the pace, and he was crying, "Hey Krishna, I could not able to read this Bhagavad-Gita, but whenever I heard about the Gita, I was I was very uh, I lost myself." And he tears coming from his eyes. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swayam Krishna, he went there. And he was asking, "What are you doing?" Then he was telling that, "I am reading Bhagavad Gita, though I do not have the eye." So Mahaprabhu at that time, "Okay, you are a topmost Bhagavat. You are the topmost Bhagavat." So that is the most important, that how it can be Mahabhagavat, how it can be possible that Mahabhagavat, it can be possible only Sadhu, Shastra and devotees to serve, serving devotional service. By devotional service, we can realize Lord Krishna. Otherwise, there is no way, no way, no way. So for that reason, it was mentioned that সেই সবের সাধু সঙ্গে গুণ স্ফুরাই কৃষ্ণ ভজন করায় মুমুক্ষ ছাড়াই. You see how nicely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching to Sanatana Goswami. Only sadhu sangha sarva shastre কয় লব মাত্র সাধু সঙ্গ সর্বসিদ্ধি হয়. Sadhu Sangha. This is the Sadhu Sangha. Every day in the evening time, Bhagavad-Gita discourse. In the morning time, Bhagavatam discourse. And rest of the time offering devotion and service to serving to Lord Krishna. This is the way. This is the very nice way I see enjoy. They created this environment. Actually, COVID damaged the world, but COVID created this environment, a spiritual development, how to develop a rapid spiritual development atmosphere that was created. So those who are reading, studying Vedas, yes, there is some result is there. There is a Punna Karma is there. So due to that Punna Karma, they went in the upper region for some times. Until that Punna Karma finish, they come back again, either this loka or Mattaloka or Shargaloka. They must have to come back. Jarma Karma chome dibbam jome betti tattata taktadaha punajjanman naitik mameti shoharjuna. So they must have to come back. But one exceptional case. That exceptional case, that was prescribed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Srila Prabhupada and through our Gurudev. That is the Krishna consciousness. We have to understand who is Krishna. Bhagavad-Gita teaches us to understand who is Krishna. Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Puran, teaches us all the leelas of Krishna, 125 years, all leelas in the Bhagavat Puran. So, and the Gita Upanishad, they are singing of Lord Krishna's songs. It was given to us. So that is, and one example I am giving, Chatush Kumara, Shukadev Goswami, Navajogendra, they are also the Brahmavadi. They were the Brahmavadi. But by the mercy of Lord Krishna, they went to Golokdam. They are also previously, they were the Brahmavati. So that is the, and Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita also, Vedishcha Sharboi Aham Eva Vidya. Vedishcha Sharboi Aham Eva Vidya. Among all the Vedas, I am the topmost Veda. So there is here is an answer. So to whom now we can worship? We will study Vedas or to worship to Lord. So that is the Vedishcha Sharboi Ahameva Vedya Vedanta Krit Vide Vide Vachaham. That is in Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna mentioned that is the to serve Lord Krishna, to satisfy Lord Krishna. That is our duty. The intelligent person, they always Shayana, Shapane, Nidra, Jagarane, they are always chant, always remember Krishna Lila and about the Krishna. That is the main duty of us. That is the main duty. I saw some Maharajas in here, I see His Holiness Danavi Goswami Maharaj, when he was taking prasadam, at that time, one person, one devotee should read Bhagavatam. Even one day I also read Bhagavatam for Maharaj. So that is, he doesn't spend one moment without thinking, without realizing Lord Krishna. So great soul, very, very pious Maharaj. So that is, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also mentioned that Maya Mugdha Jiver Nahi Shata Krishna Gyan. Those who are immersed in the Maya, immersed in the Maya, that is, they do not have Krishna Gyan. They do not have any Krishna Gyan. Jiver Kripai Kola Krishna Veda Puran. Hey Krishna, by the mercy of Krishna, he sent this Veda Puran to know about the Krishna, to know who am I, Lord Krishna. That is, that Krishna was given that. In apakrita bustuna he pakrita gosur. Where is Krishna? Can we see Krishna? Yes, we can see Krishna by the service. And this is the pakrita. This pakrita means material nature. In the material nature, he is there, but we cannot see it. Aprakrita bustuna he. Krishna is not an apakrita. Krishna is the transcendental. Apakrita bustuna he. Pakrita gochar. Through the eyes, our eyes, we cannot see him. Right? Then another example given, that is the karma kanda. Gita's written, there are three things: karma kanda, jnana kanda, and bhakti yoga. Right? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned that karma kanda, jnana kanda, kevala bishero bando. You see, karma kandi is not the ordinary soul. They are elevated soul actually. It's not that we should not be neglected them. Karma kandi. And jnana kanda, they are also Paramatma realization. They are also not ordinary soul. And those who worship them, that is the misuse of time. That is the poison. That is the Kabbalah Bishero Bando. That is the poisonous. Then Amrita Boliya Jeva Khai. Amrita means they are thinking that this karma kanda, jnana kanda, this is the Lord Krishna. I see the Krishna in Brahman realization, Paramatma realization. I see that is the thought that we achieve Lord Krishna, but not. Amrita boliya javakai. Nana joni soda fire kodajya bokkhon kore tar janma adhapate jai. That means that what will be the result of karma kandi and jnana kandi? They then have to come back janma karma. Chome dipan jome bhakti tattva. So that means they have to come again and again. Chakravat parivattante shukani chadukani. That is chakrinyai. That as per in the circle, they have to come birth, death, old disease, birth, death, old disease. This circle, they have to come. So this is that is we have to very, very careful in this material world. So we must have to determine that we should not enjoy anything. Yes, we can enjoy something. What is the enjoyment? That is, I will enjoy when I was serving my Lord. Always I must have to serving my Lord. That should be my determination. That should be the desire for the devotees. Devotees should not have other desire. So, is there anything loose? If we avoid, then only do the Krishna Seva. Do we lose anything? No. During the Krishna Seva, Krishna will provide food, Krishna will provide taking care of his devotees, that cloth, whatever it is required, that Krishna will provide him. But devotee doesn't have that kind of desire. Devotees desire how to satisfy Lord Krishna. That is. So, that is the main thing that is called the Kevala Bhakti. That Kevala Bhakti we have to be achieved by the mercy of Lord Krishna, by the mercy of Gurudev, by the mercy of devotees. That this Kevala Bhakti is not available in Gokul. This Kevala Bhakti is not available in Puridham. No. It is only available in Vrindavan. For that reason, it was mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gokule Kevala Roti Oshujyagyanhin, Gokule Kevala Roti Oshujyagyanhin, Puri Doye Bokuntade Oshujya Pravin. So, this Kevala Bhakti Puridoy means that Dwarka and Mathura, these are, and Vakunta, there is no Kevala Bhakti. Kevala Bhakti is only in the Gokul. So, and the other things is called, जैसे कि पुनः कृष्ण रोते होय द्वित प्रकार औषध्य ज्ञानम मिश्रा केवल वेद are. That is the other things in are the Oshujya Gyan, mixed of the Oshujya Gyan. That is. So, we should be very careful. Our target to go to Golokdam. Our target is not to go anywhere else. That is. So, that is. So far, what we discuss. So far, we discussed about the Vedas. How many Vedas? What are the functions of the Vedas? Then, after getting the knowledge of Vedas, it is the sufficient knowledge? No, it is not the sufficient knowledge. Sufficient knowledge is that to know about the Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness is the most important. After, if not, then we have to come back again and again in the birth and death in this material world, or maybe in the Patal Loka. Nobody knows according to their karma. So in Bhagavad-Gita, also Krishna mentioned that Vedeshu Yaggeshu Tapashu Chaiva Daneshu Jataka Punna Phalang Pradishtam Atteti Tatshakam Midang Viditta Yogi Parang Stan Upeti Chaddam. Same verse. This is the same verse. Krishna, 2 times it was mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita. So Beth, Jogga, Tapasya will not help to come back to Krishna. Only the serving is the most will go back to realize Krishna, to serve the Krishna. And so what we need to do, we have to attend Mangalarati. Actually, I mentioned it before also, His Holiness Shubhak Swami Maharaj. Shubhak Swami Maharaj mentioned that 16 rounds to be finished before Mangalarati. Then attend in Mangalarati. Then Bhagavatam class. Then take prasadam. That is Shubhak Swami Maharaj. Actually, it is Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Muddalila purport also, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that in 24th chapter. So this should be our activities. That. So today, now our third part, very briefly, I am telling about the Srila Prabhupada. He was written Bhagavad-Gita in Bengali. He was each and every text. He was written songs. Each and every text that is in a Bengali, he was written. So I am reading that songs in this text very briefly, then we will discuss on that. Srila Prabhupada songs, Gita, it is called Gita songs. Karma Kanda Vedatroy Sadhana je Punna hoy Soma Rosh Pane Pap Koi. Yes, is Karma Kanda and Veda Shastra. And 3 things. Karma Kanda, Veda Shastra, and Soma Rosh Pan. Then all the papa will destroy. But there is something more. Jaggamor upasana java kore she sadhana swarga sukha pratana she kore. Those who are karmakandi, jnanakandi, what are they doing? They are doing the jagna. Through the jagna, they are doing the worship. To java kore sadhana, meaning the person who is doing jagna and upasana. Swarga sukha pratana she kore. That means he is praying to get the heavenly shuk. Shuk means, what is the English? That is enjoyment, heavenly enjoyment. Punnet folete shei surendra lokete jai dibba shuk bhok sheta kore. With this punna fall, good karma, he went to the upper heaven. Then what happened? He will go to the heaven. So then what happened? The Bishal she Shargashu Bule Jai Jorodo Krome Kome Tar Punna Hore. That means that, so it is when he went there, then slowly, his punna fall is reducing. So here we should be very careful. For that reason, I mentioned that we should not desire any enjoyment. Our desire should be serve Lord Krishna. So it is very, very careful. So in heaven, If people will go to the heaven, then after a stage, until his punya karma finished, he must have to come back again. So very careful this is. Troyi dharma karma kanda payomukha vishwabanda amrita bhaviya jevakai. I mentioned that it is Chaitanya Charitamrita also mentioned that karma kanda, jnana kanda, kavali vishare banda. Amrita Boliya Javakai. Here Srila Prabhupada songs also, he was mentioned that Troyi Dharma Karma Kanda. Troyi means this Veda Gyan. That Veda Dharma Karma Kanda. These are the Vishere Banda. Amrita Boliya Javakai. That is the, it is that thought that it is the Amrita. So it is very careful. It is not the Amrita. Gata Gati Kamo Bhav. গতাগতে কামলাপ জন্মে জন্মে মহাতাপ তার জন্মে অধঃপথে যাই. That means that the doing these things, karmakanda, jnanikanda, this thing, that bath after bath, he will come back and come back and come back. Whole life, it is adapate. Adapate means going to hell. So, Srila Prabhupada, this is Krishna mentioned to Arjuna in Sanskrit. Srila Prabhupada songs in here in a Bengali. What is the central idea of this text? This was Srila Prabhupada written. When I say it, I feel very good. So what we need to do that, then Srila Prabhupada concluded in here that one should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material existence. So we should be very careful. We should, our desire should be to serve Lord Krishna, nothing else, nothing else. Krishna, you are my Pita, you are my Mata. I must, I want to serve you. I want to serve you. I am your Dashanudash. Krishna, please bless me. Krishna, please give me the mercy that I can serve nicely to make happy to you. That is the main thing in here. So I'm concluded in here. Is there any question or a discussion that anybody has anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class as usual. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, you are mentioning like we had to finish them, like when Maharaj said we had to finish 16 rounds before Mangalarti. So Mangalarti starts at 4:30. So what time should we get up?
2 hours before.
Okay.
2 hours before you have to get up.
I think Maharaj, they are doing right. Like
they are secret. They are at 2 o'clock. I saw my Guru Maharaj when I was serving. Guru Maharaj 2 o'clock woke up, then finished his round. Then he walked a little bit. Then he took the shower and took whatever he is that Bhagavatam class. After shower, then he gave the Bhagavatam class. Then the prasad. That is, I observed from my Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj always 2 o'clock. It is the, I saw.
Every day, huh?
Every day, Mataji.
That's why, Prabhuji, all these disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they are totally different, Prabhuji. They are like, we cannot, it means they are extraordinary. Their bodies are different, but I always feel like their soul is same. Means when you know that, right? I was like aspiring this your Guru Maharaj, like Bhakti Charu Maharaj, because I used to go to Purna Chandra Prabhuji, and then suddenly I moved to here, and then I don't know how it happened, but when I came to know, like they were so close, Bhakti Charu Maharaj and my Guru Maharaj. So I felt like there is no difference, because Lal Govind Prabhuji said in Katha, when he asked his Guru how to serve you, then he said, serve my God brothers. So they don't feel any difference. So they are all on the same level. I feel like that. So it
Yes,
doesn't matter what name it is, but they are all same. And they
all
are
are,
all one.
yes, to spread Krishna consciousness, Krishna sent Srila Prabhupada to spread Krishna consciousness. Srila
Mm-hmm.
Prabhupada was the associate of, he is still associate, very close associate of Lord Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada needs some help. So how he can help? Then these Maharajas, our Maharajas, are the close associates of Srila Prabhupada in previous life, after life also.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
so when Srila Prabhupada appeared in this material world, he called all the Maharajas, you
Maharaj.
please come and help my movement. Then he was similarly Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was praying to Lord Krishna, that is, I need help. Please send me a helper. Then he sent the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to help him. So they are. This is the spiritual lity.
Yeah, they can like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got his parshad with
His person,
like
exactly.
that. Srila Prabhupada also got his all associates from Golokadham to deliver us like Patit Pav, like us,
Yeah.
like Tita Soul.
Think about that. If Srila Prabhupada will not come, can we understand what is the
Yeah, true Prabhupada.
material
Yeah.
world? Prakrita Jagat, what is the material world, or what is not the Aprakrita Jagat? Can we understand that?
Yeah.
And for my case, I do not understand. I did not understand before who is Krishna.
Yeah,
After
that's
I
right.
join in Krishna ISKCON, then I understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After my Guru Maharaj given the seminar on that is the Brahma Samhita, at that time I understand that my soul was so brushed, and I was thinking, I was looking for this thing, I was looking for that. Then Guru Maharaj, after finish the class question answer, then he was going to take the rest and taking prasadam. I was behind of Guru Maharaj. Then I mentioned the Guru Maharaj, after a long time I am looking for this uh, uh, knowledge. I did not understand who is Krishna. To understand who is Krishna, this is the best two scriptures. Only Brahma Samhita as well as Bhagavad-Gita.
And we are so fortunate, Prabhuji. Like we are having such a nice sangha and getting different realizations from different devotees. And Maharaj come to our temple. So many Maharaj, right? When
Yes.
they say in India, you cannot meet also anyone, any Maharaj. But here we are like we can go closer. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj used to come to our temple and he used to talk with everyone, even with my kids. How are you? And like that, he used to talk and always smiling. So we can't forget his face, always smiling face and his kirtan.
That is the mercy.
Amazing.
Then in other day, the lecture, our Amritanda Prabhuji, he mentioned that our way, this is what we are in. This is the mercy, mercy, mercy.
Very much.
Mercy, mercy. Without mercy, we cannot move.
With that, yeah. Because when we see other people, we feel like how we are fortunate, so blessed, because people are suffering and they don't understand also what is going on around. And I don't know, even relatives also, Prabhuji, I feel so sad inside, like sometimes. And then I feel like if we feel sad for our relatives, our neighbors, so how Krishna is feeling like this? Because we came from him and people are doing so many bad things. So how he must be feeling in that they are in Golokadham? What these people are doing? Nonsense thing. It's really.
I was thinking my 68 years, why I spent 68 years without anything about, without anything thinking of
Wasted.
Lord Krishna seriously. I am actually overhauled. I'm talking on that. Why it has happened? Why? And I feel so bad within myself. Why this 68 years ago I will not alive? So how can I? How much work left for me to serve Lord Krishna?
So many things to do. Yeah, that's true, Prabhuji. Already we passed so many years unnecessary, wasted. I also always feel that. And now today I see Sandeep Prabhuji after long time. So Prabhuji, please join. मराठीतच बोलते प्रभूजी माताजीला पण सांगा आणि everyday join the class and please try to come to temple also. Don't waste this life. Because they were in very much service. They used to come to Purnachandra Prabhuji's Bhakti Viksha and we were very close, and suddenly Prabhuji and Mataji, you stop, but please come to temple, and association is really important. Because of without association we cannot progress in this movement.
Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastre. Every scripture, if you see it, that is Sadhu Sangha. That is the devotee association. Devotee is the full power. Devotee, Krishna gave the devotees full power. Without devotee, who will glorify Lord Krishna?
Who will
it is Krishna who will glorify Lord Krishna. So Krishna, for glorification, Krishna needs the devotee, and devotee needs also Krishna. That's the relation.
Prabhuji. Very true. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Please bless me, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, bless me. My
I
starting is from your Mangala, from your home only. I can't forget that. I remember still you, Sukumari Mataji, Srimati Mataji, Krishna Namanda Prabhuji, and Simeshwar Prabhuji. I just learned from you, all of you. So I always feel like how Krishna brought me here in New Jersey and got such a wonderful association, very nice congregation, Prabhuji. Each one is unique and each one has very nice qualities, so that we can just grab it and we can make our life beautiful.
Correct. That is the main thing. That is, yes, I agree on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam.
Is there any question or anything discussion point? Prabhuji's and Mataji's.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'm like, as you mentioned here, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, Prabhuji, as you mentioned here, people when their punya finishes, they will fall down from the higher planet, right? In the same way, if like a devotee does any Vaishnava Aparadh, he will also fall down from the devotion. So like I'm very much worried. Sometimes some people will be a little bit harsh with other Vaishnavas. Sometimes I unknowingly maybe misbehave with a Vaishnava. So that's bothering, Prabhuji. Can you throw some light on it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Krishna accept all kinds of, Krishna give the mercy to everything, everybody in everything, except Vaishnava Aparadh. Krishna never tolerate Vaishnava Aparadh. Never, ever. So, Soto Haridas, as an example, he went for the begging for Mahaprabhu's feeding. At that time, when he went to a Grihastha's house, he had little kamabhav arises in his mind. Though he took it, all the rice, vegetables from the Grihastha's house and come back for cooking, then Mahaprabhu did not take his bhoga. And Mahaprabhu told him, I reject you. I reject you. Mahaprabhu rejected him. Then this, the separation from Sota Haridas and Mahaprabhu, Sota Haridas jumped it into the Ganga and sacrificed his life. Vaishnava Aparadh is very, very big things, Prabhuji. Be careful. And one of the Vaishnava, what he is doing, as for example, in front of you, took it out his cloth from his body and he was walking. Can you tell him anything? You have no right. That is his right. Whatever he is, he can do that. But I have no right to tell you, that is to criticize you. It is very sharp, like a blade, very sharp blade. This way, this path, this way is very, very sharp, very, very careful. It says no Vaishnava Aparadh, only to think Krishna, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. Krishna, my business. Krishna's lotus feet, to serve Krishna's lotus feet, to think Krishna's lotus feet, to realize the Krishna's lila. This is my business. My business is not left hand, not right hand, to see. That kind of determination we have to achieve it. How can we achieve it? The way Srila Prabhupada given to us. That strict to follow rules and regulation and getting the mercy from Vaishnavas. One example I can give you, that is, suppose I do not know in front of me, that means other Vaishnava, what he is doing. I cannot see it. He is doing 24 hours kirtan, 24 hours thinking, 24 hours serving to Lord Krishna, which is I cannot see it. But if he is doing ugly activities, I should not tell to him. There is ugly activities, it is in my eye. I can see the ugly activities in my eye. But from him, it is not the ugly activities. So Vaishnava Aparadh is very, very, Mahaprabhu is very, very serious on Vaishnava Aparadh. He did not allow anybody to do the Vaishnava Aparadh. I have no right to tell you something. I do not have any right to other Vaishnava. Anything else, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dattatreya Prabhu.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisance. All
Your
Krishna.
lotus feet, Prabhuji, my Gurudev. You are my
Prabhu, please don't say that, you embarrass me.
No, Prabhuji.
You're my friend, you're my elder brother. But Prabhu, to Ajay Prabhu's point, I just would like to share Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's response when some similar question was asked that, on Vaishnava Aparadh. So whatever you said is exactly like what gurus and sadhus have said. And so he also mentioned, unknowingly also I may commit an aparadh. I may not know, but still by mistake something may happen. So what Maharaj explained to that devotee is there is no question of an aparadh if it's done without any intention. The aparadh is a serious matter when there is intention behind it. So if you are criticizing somebody, so if somebody is, some other Vaishnav is cooking very nicely, and that makes you jealous, and then you go and criticize that person, that is with intention. So that is a very serious business. But unknowingly is, if an aparadh is committed, then it isn't considered to be aparadh. But it doesn't mean that we can become very casual and very lackadaisical about our behavior and etiquette. Good, if you're interested, if I find a copy, I'll post it on one of the forums. There is this Vaishnav etiquette. There's a small little handbook. I don't know if it's available the public in a printed copy, but maybe I'll ask Devkinandan Prabhu. He may have some copies. That Vaishnav etiquette is a very good reference book on how we deal with Vaishnavas. And the other thing, I read something very nice which I'd like to share with you all. We all make mistakes because none of us is perfect. All of us make mistakes. When we make mistakes, it takes a great person to say, yes, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So saying sorry is the expected behavior when you make a mistake. Almost all of us, whoever realizes it, would say sorry. Of course, there are people, when they make a mistake, they'll always blame somebody else. I behaved this way because that person was like this, or the circumstances were like. No one takes accountability. And the person who takes accountability will acknowledge his mistake and say sorry. But more important than acknowledging the mistake is, what can I do to make it right? So if I have offended Dattatreya Prabhu and I realize I've offended Dattatreya Prabhu, then I can apologize. Sorry, Prabhu, my mistake. What can I do to make it right? Now, whether it is a Vaishnav or whether it is even a colleague or whether it is a relative. So if we have this mindset that I have made a mistake and what I can do to make it right, then our behavior becomes a little more careful. So, thanks. Hare Krishna.
Think another thing, Prabhuji, Narottam Das Thakur, his songs are beautiful songs he written. Aparada Shunna Hoye Loho Krishna Nam, Krishna Pita, Krishna Mata, Krishna Bhagavan. Then aparat, without any aparat taking, then serve Lord Krishna. Aparada Shunna Hoye Loho Krishna Nam. Krishna Nam and Krishna Pita. Krishna, who is a Krishna Pita, Krishna Mata, Krishna Bhagavan. Krishna is Bhagavan. And Prabhuji mentioned that there is a Vaishnava etiquette. My Guru Maharaj was written one Vaishnava etiquette book. That is Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. So that book I had, but I was moved from here, there. I couldn't find that book. Otherwise, it is a small book. Otherwise, I can publish it, or I can give in the but I am looking for that book actually. Let me try to bring from India again that book, Vaishnava Aparat book, the Vaishnava etiquette book. That is very nice book. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. Wonderful class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
All goes to you, Prabhuji, giving me the
All goes
opportunity.
to me.
Hare Krishna.
All goes to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. This is wonderful. unlimited benefits. Yes, thank you, dear devotees, for joining. So let's thank and conclude today's session. Pray together. Vancha kalpatarupasya. Pranam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki
Jai.
Pad ki Jai.
Jai.
Ananda Gaudi Vaishnavanda ki Jai.
Jai.
Gaura Premanande Hari
Hari
Hari.
Bol.
Thank you so much, Dattatreya Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was a
Thank you,
wonderful
Dattatreya Prabhu. Excellent class.
Hare
Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful
Hari
class.
Bol.
Hare
Wonderful session also. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Hare